attending this session again. Today we are going to discuss property info. We are going to discuss purpose of the loan, and this information comes in the second part or in the second section of 1003. You must have gone through my previous videos. Those were related to the first section of 1003, like more type of mortgage and terms of loan. And I'm very much sure that you must have enjoyed those videos. Today, let's start with the purpose of loan first. First, let's see what is the purpose, and then we'll go to the type of property information, right? So, purpose of loan. When it comes to purpose of loan, what is the purpose? I mean, there could be four purpose. Number one is purchase. Someone wants to purchase a property, right? The second one, he does not or she does not want to purchase a property. They already have a property, right? They already have a property, and they just want a loan on that property, the property which is existing on their name. That is refinance, right? The numbers we are going in detail in all these terms, but just I wanted to tell a hypothetical of what could be the purpose and what we are going to discuss today. So the third would be construction. Somebody has a plot, right? They want to construct a property. So for that purpose, they want a loan, right? And the fourth one is construction to permanent. Construction to permanent. These are the four purposes. There could be another as well. Those are other, but we won't go into that because these are the four main purpose in which we are dealing with in this field. So let's see what is purchase, right? When someone say I want to purchase a property, then he or she may say that okay, the purpose of this loan would be purchase. I want to purchase a new property. That is fine. I mean, something I want to purchase. I do not have enough money to purchase that. That is why I came to bank and asking for a loan. Okay, help me to lend me some money so that I can purchase that property. So that is a very simple. But when it comes to purchase means someone is going to purchase a new property. That doesn't mean that property will always be new or it will be newly built. It could be a property which was built in 1970, right? 1970 में कोई property बनी है. I just like that property. I want to buy that property. So that will be a new property for, right? That is the purchase transaction and the purpose. Someone want to buy a property. That will be known as a purchase transaction, or purpose of the loan would be purchase. Now let's come to the second. That is refinance. What does the refinance means? When someone already have a property, मेरे पास एक already एक घर है, it exists on my name. I am the owner of that property, right? I go to bank. Now listen very carefully. I go to bank. I tell them that okay, I need a loan. They ask, okay, what kind of property you are going to purchase? I simply tell them I do not want to purchase. Property is already with me. I don't want to purchase that property, right? I just want to refinance that property, or you give me some loan and you can mortgage that property. उस property को आप उस property के document बना लेते हैं. I mean, I can put that property as a security, right? You lend me the money, I will pay as per the interest rate, as per the terms, whatever we are going to determine. So according to that, so that is refinance. Now there are two scenarios in refinance. In refinance, there are two scenarios. The number one is like when I tell the banker that okay, I have a property existing in my name. I want a loan against that property. So the first question, again, one more question will come from the banker, and that will be, okay, if you have already a property, is there any loan going on that property? So maybe I purchased that property in 2018, right? And that time I took a loan from the bank. Maybe it was it was for $50,000. 50,000 loan I took, and that is still going on. Just 2 years back I take a loan on that property, right? So if अगर हम ये बोलते हैं कि 2018 में when I purchased that property, the value was of that property was 100,000, right? It was the value of that property. I took a loan on that 50,000. 100,000 का property है, 50,000 का मैंने उस पे लोन लिया है. So my equity on that property is 50% and 50% equity is existing of the bank. In this case, when I go to bank and मैं उनको बोलता हूँ कि I need a loan, I have a property, they ask me whether there is any loan. I tell them yes, 50,000 is going on. So they may ask you, okay, how much loan do you need? I tell them that I need only 30,000 loan amount. I have a need of 30,000. 50,000 का लोन ऑलरेडी उस प्रॉपर्टी पे चल रहा है, मुझे 30,000 का लोन चाहिए. अब सिनेरियो आता है, अगेन there are two scenarios, whether banker may say, okay, do you want the second loan, because first is already going on, पहला लोन तो चल ही रहा उस पे, लेकिन वो कहते हैं कि 30,000 और चाहिए आपको, तो क्या आपको दूसरा लोन एक अलग से बनाना 30,000 का. अब इस केस में क्या होगा कि 50,000 का मेरी जो EMI जाता है वो जाता है $3,000 पर मंथ, राइट. लेकिन अगर मैं उसको एज इट इज जाने देता हूँ और इसी प्रॉपर्टी पे 30,000 का लोन और ले लेता हूँ, 30,000, if I go for more 30,000 loan, what will happen? There will be two transaction now, and क्योंकि सेकंड लोन जब भी करते हैं that is short term. I mean the first loan हो सकता है 30 years के लिए टर्म्स पे चल रहा हो, so the EMI is just 3,000. सेकंड वाला लोन क्योंकि कम टर्म्स के लिए होगा, so it would be amortized only maybe for 10 years, not more than that. Okay, so 10 years का अगर उसको हम लेंगे, and second लोन जब भी चलता है it is always on a higher interest rate, right? Because रिस्क बढ़ गया, ज़्यादा डेट में जा रहा है तो इंटरेस्ट रेट भी हाई होगा. सो मे बी इसका भी 3,000 ही EMI बन जाएगा. नाउ सी, फर्स्ट का 3,000, सेकंड सिर्फ 30,000 है, लेकिन उसका भी 3,000. अब बॉरोअर को 2 पेमेंट पे करनी पड़ेगी पर मंथ, दैट वुड बी अराउंड 6,000 फॉर दिस प्रॉपर्टी. ठीक है, एक सिनेरियो तो ये हो गया. देयर इज अनदर सिनेरियो एज वेल. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग फॉर दिस सेकंड लोन which will be expensive one, banker will always give them another solution, and that would be like they will ask borrower, okay, instead of going for 30,000 and second loan, they can go for 80,000, a new loan 80,000. Out of that 80,000, 50,000 of what already existing, that will be paid off, and the rest $30,000 will come to the borrower at closing, right? Now this loan of 80,000 will be amortized for at least 30 years, and it could be that his monthly EMI would only be 4,000. Just a hypothetical amount. Just in the previous case where he is going for 2, it is becoming $6,000, right, at least. But because here he is amortizing the loan in a stretch for 30 years, obviously the EMI is going to be reduced. Also because it's a bigger loan for bigger amount, so interest rate will also be lower compared to the second mortgage, right? So in that case, borrower will have more benefit in this loan pocket. So that is why it is called refinance. Property was previously financed, now it is being refinanced. So purchase and refinance. Getting my point? Purchase means someone is going to to buy a new property. Refinance could be borrower has a property, right, and he is refinancing that property, going to pay off the previous amount, and whatever the cash to close comes at closing, it will go to the borrower pocket. Okay, this is one scenario. There is another scenario as well, that is like borrower say that I have a property, I want a loan against that property, but banker will ask them, okay, do you have any loan going on that property? Borrower may say no, that they do not have any loan going on that property. It is free and clear. So free and clear, when someone say free and clear, means there is no loan going on that property. Property is free and clear. So it, whenever this scenario comes up, that borrower is applying a loan on a free and clear property, he need to prove whether the property is free and clear or not. What are those documents? On the basis of those documents, borrower can prove that yes, the property is free and clear. The number one is HOI. HOI means homeowner insurance. Homeowner insurance, what happens whenever in the US, each home should have a fire policy or a hazard policy. We used to call it homeowner insurance. I mean, each house should be insured, right? So whenever some property is being insured, obviously the name of lender is going to appear on that, who has given, who is the mortgagee on that loan or on that property, right? So that if something happens, in sometimes at least the person who need to be benefited, because lender also invested money on that property, so his name will also appear as a beneficiary on the HOI. But if property is free and clear, the beneficiary will be only borrower. There should not be any other name, any lender name, any mortgagee name. So that is the one document he can provide. Current HOI, current year HOI, that see my HOI, there is no other mortgagee, I am the only beneficiary of this property because there is no loan. The second document is the credit report. Credit report, because whatever the debt is going on the name of borrower, right? Whatever the EMI he is paying, those EMI, those debt will appear on the credit report of borrower. If there is property is free and clear, no mortgage account is going to appear on the credit report. So this is again one evidence here. It could also be proved through the credit report. There is one more document that is called title. Title is basically a document which show the ownership of the borrower. Who is the owner of that property? So like in India we used to call it house registry, home registry, right? So that is the similar document title in the US, which is actually disclose who is the owner of the property. And if someone is taking a loan, obviously that title need to be, the record need to be updated in this document, that who is the lender who lended the money against this property. So if property is free and clear, this title will also be free and clear, means it will not show any lender's name, any loan amount against that property, right? So these three are the minimum documents which can prove that property is free and clear. Okay. So what we were discussing the purchase and refinance and the different aspect of the refinance, right? I hope that this is clarified to you. If still you have any question related to purchase or related to refinance, please write in the comment box, and we'll try to clarify according to your accordingly. The number 3 is construction. Someone has a plot, right? Someone has a plot, and now in that plot he wants to build a house. So he go to bank, he tells them I need a loan. Banker asks what is the purpose. He simply say, okay, purpose, I want to build a house. I have a plot. He is going to submit those plot papers and builder certifications, who is going to build that property. So all those documents they are going to submit, and they can get a construction loan. That is called, if banker approves that, okay, yes, you can take a loan. So what are the different, I would say, what are the different aspects of getting a construction loan, or how it works? Construction loan are not, as lengthier, or I would say construction का लोन जब भी कोई लेता है, तो construction के लोन में सबसे बड़ी बात ये होती है कि they are very short term loans with higher interest rate. 2 या 3 साल का मैक्सिमम लोन होगा, not more than that 3 or 4 years. If builder has given a certification that property is really big, it needs 5 years to get completed. Otherwise, I haven't seen more than 3 years or 4 years of construction loan. So that is how it works. So very short-term loan for 3 to 5 years. As soon as the property is erected here, maybe here is the property. This property is built here. Now, because short-term loan with higher interest rate will have obviously a very, it's a huge EMI is going to be there. So borrower, as soon as the building will be done there, borrower will go to the appraiser, they will do the valuation of that property. Previously, when he went for construction loan, there was no property, just a plot. Now, since the building has been erected, right? Building is existing there, he can get a valuation for that property, and again he is going to the bank and will ask them that, okay, property has been constructed, here is the appraisal document which is showing this is the value of the property, I need a loan. And when he goes for such kind of loan, that is called construction to permanent. Construction to permanent. So previously when he took loan, it was simple construction loan with a short term. Next time he is going for a construction to permanent loan because construction has been done. Now he want to take a permanent loan against that property, and it will be for 30 years or 25 years according to their guidelines, according to their need, but will be with a lower interest rate, and it will be for at least 30 to 35 years loan, and it will have very lower EMI. That is how. So it would be considered as refinance purchase when it comes to, if you will see in the 1003 when it comes to construction to permanent, they also used to call it refinance sometimes purchase, because guidelines are going to be the same. Construction to permanent, only the documentation part will have more I would say intensive, as well as few more documents, additional documents need to bring in the file to prove that yes, it is a construction to permanent loan. 5. So these are the purpose. Other purpose could also be there. Okay. But since we are only involved in these 4 type of purposes, that is why I am just discussing these 4 purposes. Okay. Hopefully all these purposes have been clarified to you. Still, if you come in some kind of confusion, or if you see you need more clarification, please let me know through your comments, and I will definitely try to clarify that as well. Now let's see what will be the next